Serious, religious people of Reddit, how would you react if you traveled to 1,000 years in the future, and saw that your religion had gone extinct in that time? It's said within the Buddhist tradition that the teachings will eventually be forgotten, as they have in the past. The teachings are to be continuously rediscovered and forgotten again over time. If Buddhism disappeared in 1,000 years, I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if 10,000 years from now the Buddhist teachings resurfaced again, perhaps with a different name and different aesthetic. The idea is that religious teachings are oriented around a conception of something transcendent. The religion itself is not the most valuable, but that transcendent thing which the religion points towards holds all the value. Religions are continuously changing over time. Judaism originally included animal sacrifice, but the tendency to seek out something which transcends us is an aspect of the human condition. This tendency will always be present, so I think the forms it takes aren't of much importance. No kitty, that's my pie replying to coffee with oat milk. I like how Buddhists seem to be more open-minded and practical. Too many other religions have hard and fast rules that make no sense in today's world. They don't have nuance that Buddhists seem to. One of my favorite stories, paraphrased, is two Buddhist monks are walking down a road. It was against their teachings to ever touch a woman, and they came across one who was having trouble crossing a river. One of the monks picks her up and carries her across the river, breaking their rules. They drop her off and go on their way. The other monk is furious about this, and after walking for a couple more hours he blurts out, "I can't believe you did that. We are not supposed to pick up women and carry them." The first monk replies, "I left her at the river bank. It seems you're the one who's still carrying her now." I am from India, and Hindu, so my scenario is entirely different from others here, who are of Abrahamic religions, I assume. In our case, what we now consider as Hindu religion for last few hundred years actually is the collective name for the native traditions, cultural practices and beliefs in the subcontinent as a whole. And hence, the difference between religion and culture in our case is very vague even today. The concept of religion and faith here was entirely different here from that in the Middle East and West, prior to the arrival of religions of foreign origins to the subcontinent. So back to your question, as I said, the native culture, with all the modifications that have happened with time, of the subcontinent since past several thousand years has been now called as Hinduism. If you say this religion has gotten extinct, it means native Indian or subcontinental culture itself has gotten extinct. South Asia's native culture itself will become non-existent, and hence it would become a totally different world, and there is no way to know what could be the culture in that case. Cause culture and religion here are intertwined here and are often the same. So, Indian South Asian, the entire native culture itself won't exist anymore in the question you have asked. So what could happen? There might be an entirely different culture in South Asia, something which has no similarities with what we know today. And very likely that entirely different culture too would have gotten the name Hinduism as well if rest of history plays out exactly as it actually did. Cause the name came only some centuries ago, after arrival of Middle Eastern religions, so that South Asian belief system can also be grouped and separately identified as Islam, Christianity, Judaism are. My reaction to this would be like this is a parallel universe, where Hinduism is entirely different religion from one in real life. If by religion has got extinct you mean no one believes in God, but everything else remains same, then it would be so similar and yet so different to what we actually have. I would think this to be a very interesting case and would like to see how it works. The last case is Hinduism having gotten extinct cause Abrahamic faiths have run it over and now everyone follows Abrahamic faith. Now this is the only scenario I would be very upset and unhappy about, as I see this as a complete loss of identity. This scenario has actually happened in parts of the subcontinent, the parts which we call Pakistan and Bangladesh today. This is an amazing reply.